It is time to make the sound to summon the stream. Greetings, dear viewers. I'm Cool Quick Card, and welcome back to RPG Maker, the community project. Last time, admittedly, very little got added. And mostly that's because I had a crapload of stuff that I needed to still test thoroughly before we would be able to proceed. I also did some brainstorming about what we're going to be doing after we are done with Wallachia. And I built the map area that's going to serve as the overworld for the next area, and I hated it. I absolutely hated the map work I did. It was terrible. It was not good whatsoever. I completely erased and redid the entire map area. However, we are still keeping the same general idea. We've got a marshy archipelago. We've got two main cities. We've got an oasis. We've got a mountain range separating the main island into two parts, and a cave system which will connect between them, and a few little oases. So all the important features are still there, but it just looks a lot better than it did. So I'm really happy about that. Before we go into the actual building today, let's review, because I know that you had already left, Cole, in particular, the story for the next area, which took quite a while to sort of hash out, and there was a lot of ideas, but eventually I was able to take the ideas and get them into something that I think is cohesive enough to really work. So here is the overarching story for the jungle, swamp, marsh areas. So twin magical cats fled Wallachia as refugees when the false Hydra attacks started. They sought help among the people dwelling in the marshlands, but the people turned them away. The people being two tribes, one of them with the crocodile people, one of them with the cat people. Desperate, alone, and starving, the root beer gods... Let me actually make notes on this as I go. When the false Hydra attack started, sought people among the people dwelling in the marshlands, the cat people, and the crocodile, and the Kremlings, but the people turned them away. Desperate, alone, and starving, the root beer gods, who I have decided are named Sass and Perilla, alpha, drawn from sarsaparilla, the primary flavor profile of root beer, offered to save them on the condition that when they die, their souls belong to the root beer gods. The twin cats have incited conflict between the villages for revenge and to harvest souls of the dead to empower the root beer gods. The gods promise that if they deliver enough souls, the cat's souls will be freed. The cats' names are Sauri and Sora. So that is the general big picture idea. I gave the idea, and I don't know why I gave it. All ideas look a little bit different if you give them a week to sit on. As for specific details, hello, Aubrey. Enemy ideas, we're going to have a bacterial enemy that can clone itself, so like a living amoeba should work pretty good. Yeah, please, go ahead and tell the meaning of the seas. I'm pretty sure Sora means sky. So there is a village of crocodile people. We're going to make a locations list. So among the vocations list, there's a village of crocodile people. There is a village of cat people. The cat people location, the crocodile people location is going to have the next Pepsi Port location. The village of the cat people is where we get the feral, friendly, feline party member. And copying Catboy and carton confined Catboy. Acquire catnip to defeat cat people. Next Pepsi Port location, new ammo type. I think that's all the important notes here. And then as far as map notes go, in some parts of the swamp, we're going to get a hook shot mechanic in order to cross different areas. It means white and sky. Also, perfect location for cutic enemies. Do you have poison? Can you be a little more specific? Because, I mean, we can add anything. We have some good stuff. Let's take a look where I saved off. Okay. Like fire, ice. I don't really have poison as an element, but there's no reason that I can't add it either. Okay, so I have an event that I built. The plot armor idea is fantastical. I really like it. Tulipus, hi, came up you and my recommended. What you're doing sounds interesting. I really think you should add a working toaster. It's late and I'm going to bed. You'll probably never hear from me again. Bye. Thank you for stopping by, too, Lupus. We are adding that. There is going to be a toaster, which is going to be important to the plot. Alright, should we put this in the village of the crocodile people or the village of the cat people? Gain poison type in the crocodile village. Okay. Poison elemental things added in the crocodile people village. First of all, add hence. I'm still not... I mean, that's not a big area. Add a toaster that is somehow important to the plot. We also need to add hence. Okay. So those are notes on things that we need to do. Alright, so let's just review. Last time we showed off the big dragon fight here in the Grim Furnace. I need to turn that down in my headphones. I was stuck because I didn't know you click on the doors to open the doors. Ah, I see. Okay. That is a perfect example of the sort of things that I don't consider simply because I take for granted certain mechanics. Got an idea. The croc people are more physical oriented in fighting, while the cat people more magical, but their villagers' leaders are Christ versa. I really like that idea. Okay. Physical focused, but with a shaman leader. And the cats are magical focused, but with a warrior leader. Can the crocodile people be farming chickens for food? Have a culture mostly chicken-based, chicken and meals. Why not make it so if a door can be opened, it opens on its own when we get close? The main reason I don't do that is because then it's very easy to accidentally walk into doors. It's extremely easy to make doors that open on touch instead of on a button press. But it makes it very easy to accidentally go into interiors when you don't mean to. Alright, crocodile people, they farm chickens and eggs. Alright, so anyway, yeah, last time we tested everything in the green furnace. Yeah, it is a little weird on mobile. Mobile's not the best way to play it, but it is at least functional, more or less. Anyway, you climb out of the grim furnace. I'm going to actually focus and get through this so we can show the absolute latest point in the game that we have now, and then we're going to start building on that, because we're going to start building another dungeon today. Basically, you climb out of the grim furnace, and you get here, and door's locked pretty damn tight, so you use this lever. The door opened. We can get out. And that is because the grim furnace, you can actually see the outside of it from inside the graveyard gardens. Thanks for stopping by, Suleiman. Always good to see you. So this is how you finally unlock that door. So you go outside, and we see Mr. Bones and the Wallachia captain. Well, well, nice timing. Captain, Mr. Bones? What are you doing here? We were trying to find a way to open up the furnace from this side, but it appears that will no longer be necessary. Did you find the ritual tools? I think so? We found this. Ah, yes. This scroll and these enchanted bottle caps are certainly what we were looking for. But what is this rod? I don't know. It was with the other things. Wait. I think I've read about this before. Could it be... What is it? I think that this is one of the implements the ancient necromancers used to control their undead servants. If I can figure out how to use it... You could command these creatures yourself? Possibly. It will take some time to research and experiment, but... if I can manage to control them, they could help us fight the false Hydra. That is a considerable amount of power to be left to one man, even a trusted one. I would have no qualms turning this over to the priests when we are done, nor with having my work overseen by whomever you think appropriate. That will be sufficient, I think. Come, we have much work to do. Your sister came through more than I had ever imagined, Elena, and you have done amazing work too. Where do we go now? You will find the entrance to the old ruins south, go past the seminary, and then turn east. I wish you luck. The town's guard will be ready to aid you when the time comes. And hopefully our numbers will be bolstered by a substantial undead host as well. Let me heal you up before we part ways. Okay, so now we can go. We should be able to re-enter the Grim Furnace without any trouble. We should be able to go back to our previous areas without any trouble. The door should still be locked. Because, quite frankly, making the ground shaking broke the door. Because, quite frankly, making the whole minecart system work from this end was an absolute nightmare that I did not want to deal with. So it just locks you out. If you went through the mines again and rode all the way back here, all the carts would be in the proper positions to get you back normally. So it doesn't completely soft lock this area. It just means that you can't progress from this side anymore, which is fine enough. That's an acceptable compromise, I think. The ritual tools should leave the party after the next scene. But anyway, yeah. The Graveyard Gardens also have their own random encounters. Ryu's looking good in Dark Dragon form. I'll get to reading chat after I finish with the testing. Oh, okay, the jar exploded. If you don't kill unstable jars fast enough, they explode. Ah. Okay, when the jars explode, they're supposed to kill themselves. So we need to add... This is a finish note. Unstable jars need to die when exploding. Also, maybe it was killing an ally? Next note is remove the ritual tools from inventory after they are used. Anyway, you go down here to this crossroads, you go this way, and this leads to the magical seal. You should not be able to step there. So this is the entrance into the Undercity. Bottom of pillar was passable. That's going to need to change. This must be the seal. We should have everything we need to open it. And now let's let Thatcher have her moment in the sun. Does anybody know how to use these things? Oh, just leave that to me. It's been a while since I tried a ritual like this. Let's see. Thatcher begins a low chant in unnatural tones. The words slip out of the mind as soon as they are heard. Some quality of the sounds themselves impossible to remember. You sure you know what you're doing, lady? Oh, hush you. This is delicate work. Thatcher's thin fingers trace delicate lines over the scroll, here stroking, there tapping, moving with a fluidity and grace that seems almost impossible. She crushes a pair of bottle caps between her fingers in an action that might be strength, might be magic, possibly both, and maybe neither at all. Her words grow louder and stranger still. Thatcher's chant lingers in the area as though written in shadowy runes upon the air itself, layers of echoing whispers in 100 voices building to a terrible crescendo. That should do it. Remind me not to ever piss you off, lady. Oh, I wouldn't worry. You're such a kind young man, after all. Okay, so there's the thing. Is this a fight zombie? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh! Hey, the tablet of auto win. Nice. Perfect. Okay, so that is as far as we have designed now. The next task will be going into here, going to the Undercity under the Undercity. And that will be the last dungeon up to the Hydra. Alright, so let's review all the chatter that was going on while we do this. So are we adding the Skeleton Griffin being ridden by a Death Knight with a big sword? I don't have the assets to do that, noobs. I simply don't. If the croc people cultivate chickens, do the cat people cultivate turkeys or ducks? Do I have... Do I have... one of those? I do have chickens, and I do have horses. I've got foxes, pigs, dogs, and cats. So we might need to go with pigs. Turkey, I was thinking peacock for the cat people, because most of their spells use peacock feathers. I definitely don't have an asset for peacocks. They taste good for them. Peacock feather are as hard as steel. When exploding, it should deal damage to everything present in the fight. Also, Quill, I did not thought of what the plot armor should do, so I guess I'll leave that to you. Plot armor just makes you invincible. Cole, cat peoples raise peacocks. It says nature... Actually, now that I think about it, this does work as another kind of cat girl. And then the rest are basically like fairies or like an earth goddess. Like, I kind of get the idea. Cat people raise peacocks as they are both a foodstuff and their feathers for magical spells. I simply don't have the resources to do a peacock, unfortunately. So let's get to fixing. First thing to fix in the gardens. After the whole ritual is done, we are going to remove the ritual tools from the inventory. So that takes care of that. So the unstable jar. I barely remember how I even made this work. So we have detonate B. Detonate common enemy, detonation enemy, detonation enemy. I feel like one of these needs to be using detonation A. Because I think it was dependent. Yeah, okay, because this one has 2 unstable jars. So let's put 2 unstable jars and see if B is hitting enemy number 1 or enemy number 2. Just because of how I had to make this work. It's a little hard to explain. Okay. Okay, I thought so. So the first one used it, but the second one died. So unstable jar A needs to have detonate A. And then detonate A calls det enemy 1. Detonate 2 calls det enemy 2. Det enemy 1 forces the enemy to use detonate 2, and then 3 forces them to use detonate 2, and then 3. This is the all damage, and then detonate 3 kills themselves. Okay, so this is why the zombie died. But you say it should damage all of their allies as well. So we're going to change this to target all of their allies. And we're going to call that detonate 4. And detonate 4. So now it will also damage all of their enemies as well before they die. And this one we don't want to have any animation to it whatsoever. Okay. So now this should work. This should work exactly as intended. So we had unstable jar 1, unstable jar 2. Let's test it. Maybe the cat people use an amblet to make the peacocks invisible to other predators. Hero, remember the hero's cave from my game? Yes, I do. Yes. So the explosion should now also damage their allies as well. And then the correct one should die. So let's make sure the jar is functional. Okay, this one explodes. First it damages the whole party. Then it damages itself, and then it dies. And now this one should do the same. There we go. Okay, unstable jar has been fixed. Oh, on bottom of the pillar was passable. This is why I make notes on things to fix, because I had already forgotten that. Graveyard Gardens are using the Dungeon Necropolis tile set. Dungeon Necropolis tile set. Okay, I don't know why that was passable at all. Because I don't think I use those anywhere else. Seminary doesn't use them. That doesn't use them. Barracks doesn't use them. Armory doesn't use them. Okay, so that was an easy fix without breaking anything. Okay, so let's get working. We're going to close the barracks, close the seminary, close the Temple of Death. We need to start building the Under City. So in the Hero's Cave 50 floor, there'd be a mid-boss. I don't know what I should be till now. Now I figured it out. It's a little annoying spit called the King Slime. That works. Alright. Let's start building our map. Just for some inspiration, let's take a look at a default map or two. Just for like some basic ideas. Or potentially, I haven't really done this yet, but I could just use the game's RPG Maker's built-in... Ooh. Well, that's an interesting way to do it. Putting like decorations out in the void area. That's neat. Ooh, swamp map. That's so pretty. Let's see. It does need to be like a cave system. But it needs, like, this is obviously like a constructed thing. Like, this is an actual physical structure. So my idea is that there's a physical structure that you enter, but then, like, it's totally ruined inside and there's no way to go down further. But there's, like, a place where, like, the wall is broken, and that lets you access, like, natural caverns. So that's kind of my idea. Ooh. Oh, that's a fun map. Oh, wow. That's a cool overworld. Just sort of looking for some basic inspiration. Probably not really going to get much inspiration here in the sci-fi and modern stuff. But you never know. Okay. Just did a pixel mock-up of the King Slime small porn and 100% posting it to the server when I get home. So just ruins. Okay. So let's actually start with a relatively small area. So we will call these the old ruins. We'll make it a fairly modest room. I have no idea what to do with the battle map yet, but this is going to be Old Ruins entry. So this is just where you go in from the outside. So I don't really think it needs to be especially big, but it should use the same kind of exterior that we were seeing in the gardens. We'll have a big wall in the back. Okay. And then we are also going to have a gap in the wall here. So this needs to be like very much like ruined and broken. Let's start with like the basic tiles and some rough ground leading to the side. How about just that? Quill for those plants enemies. Well, the meat-eating ones have puns in their name for the Elite Four. Taste Bud is easy to get. Flame Bite's also quite forced. Flambe and Bite. Mini holes. Yeah, I agree. We need lots of holes here. We need this to be this place looks like crap. Okay, this is a place that is utterly neglected. This is a place that people have wanted to forget. Okay. We have holes and stuff. We've got cracks all over the floor. We've got cracks on the walls. The places that aren't cracked are often pretty scuffed. Like, this place just looks terrible. Make it so if we go up, we can fall down if we're not careful. It's not hard to do that, but I don't think it really works well for what I'm going for. We're going to add like some stairs. We are going to add some stairs that you really can't access. Okay. Just like that. And like that. Okay. There we go. Okay. So we've got some stairs. Now the stairs themselves. Oh, no. Ruined stairs. Yeah, ruined stairs. Oh, that's great. Okay. So after ruined stairs, cracks on the wall, some scuff marks. Okay, now we need to decorate it a little bit. Hello, Quill. It's 11:36 p.m. My sleep schedule is fucked up yet again. Hello, Light. Welcome to the stream. We are trying to design an entry into the old ruins. Also, I have just realized something about the necropolis. I was using the ruined pillar outside. Okay. So now we need like ruined pillars like that. Okay. We're going to have like a bunch of rocks here so that this area is just not accessible at all. We're going to have a ruined statue here. Bits of rubble that are just scattered around. Okay. I think that works. This helps blend that together a little more. Put this here. Put that there. And there we go. You think the name Healy Lily is forced? Not really. Okay. Now, for the old ruins entry, we need to be able to exit these. And the graveyard gardens need to be able to access the area. This one's going to be the event touch. So now we should be able to enter the ruins and leave them. Did you mentally prepare yourself for Donkey Kong 64? Not yet. Okay, old ruins are entered from here. Let's make sure they are functional. Ooh. Okay, this works. This works. This looks thoroughly ruined. Okay, good. So we have our entry for the old ruins. And now we are going to generate a dungeon. Let's make it 40 by 40 using the dungeon tile set. This is going to be Ruins Level 1. It's still just going to be called the Old Ruins. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. Take a look at this feature. We are going to generate a dungeon. Let's see. It's going to be maze type with margins and wide passages. Using this and this floor. There we go. It just instantly made me this. Which is okay, but we can do better. We could do something like this. But I would prefer doing it room style, just with dark stone, I think. Okay. Not really. Okay. I'm not a fan of what we've developed here. Let's focus on a very tall map, but one that is not especially wide. And we'll just have like series of passages going down further and further and further. Kind of like the opposite, well, not really opposite, but similar to like the water passage tunnel. We're also going to need some music. Let's see. Okay, this one seems really tense. Isn't this what I used for the Tundra? Yeah, I did, but I pitched it differently. I kind of like it. Add traps. Well, once we actually have a map, we can certainly add traps. Okay. Okay. I think that works. So we're going with... There we go. Alright, so everybody gets to listen to that. There we go. There we go. Alright, let's begin the map design. So it starts by going here. And then this is going to quickly transition into more, like, natural walls. Okay. Something like that. Do we have mossy stairs? We do? Okay. Ooh, I think this music is great for this part of the dungeon. Okay. There we go. So we have a lot of space to cover. So from here, it's going to be a bit more orderly. Like with properly partitioned rooms. That's going to be the way down. This is going to be another room partition. More stairs. Okay. And here we'll have a circular room, like an altar. With a little annex on each side. Okay. And then on this side, it will open into a bigger room, which will have more stairs down. If anybody has any specific ideas for what we can do here, I am definitely willing to listen. We've already decided on traps. Do you have a mimic? Yes, I have a few different types of mimics that I have used throughout the project. Okay. More stairs going down. Okay. Let's start working on the floor. There we go. Just scuff up the floor real good. Okay. And a little bit of lighter border. And a little bit of lighter border. And then the rest of that looks like that. Throw a little bit of scuff in there. Okay. Make every chest you add a mimic in there. How many mimic chests would you have to open, Noob, before you stopped opening chests? We can do it, but is it something that people are going to want to play? Okay. Add cracks on the walls. I would never stop opening. To be fair, I probably wouldn't either. Okay. Now we're gonna add some scuffing around. I think this is good for, like, the first part. Okay. Okay, I think this... I think this works. Okay. So now we need traps. So what can I use? My first thought is like a dart trap. But I would need like a statue or something facing the side. What can I use for that? Let's see. Quill, have a tree in the dungeon that has a small animal next to it. Why? Quill, add an NPC about pure guns. Okay. I want to make a maze in my RPG to mess with people, but like a multi-screen maze, like the Forever Forest in Mario. That's easy enough to do. Okay. Can we have one domesticated mimic in the dungeon? Aubrey, every day you show up, you just want pets. Okay, so what does a domesticated mimic do? What functionality does it have? You want chaos. Okay, now expand. What functionality do you want that to have? Like, if all you want is chaos, I could literally just, like, grab my tool here and then... that. There you go. There's chaos. But it doesn't contribute anything to the project. I have not added anything to it by introducing that chaos. Not that type of chaos. Exactly! That's my exact point. You have to tell me what you mean by wanting chaos. You have to describe functionality. Okay. This is going to be our first trap. Mr. Bones has never been here before. Okay, we need a trigger. We're going to call this the Undercity Trap 1. So when Undercity Trap 1 is active, it will have a custom route where it just travels all the way to the end of the room. Okay. And it will skip if it can't move, but it's going to trigger if it touches the player. And so what it will do is it will cause the player to turn on direction fix, change their speed to as fast as possible, take a step backward, okay. I think the best is to move one spot up. No, one spot up is -1. And then we turn direction fix off, through off. We flash the screen red for 10 frames. We play a sound effect of a hit. Blow. There we go. Okay, we play the sound effect. And then we change the HP of the entire party. We decrease it by 300. Okay. Oh, right. Okay, no, that's not going to work. Route, we do not repeat the movements. That's actually very important. But after it finishes its route, it'll turn transparent on and through on, so that we can't have that problem anymore. And then it will turn the Undercity Trap switch off. And then it will change the location of this event back to its original starting place. And then this event will turn off its transparent and its through. Okay. Okay. So this spot is x plus 1, y minus 1. Alright, let's test this first trap and see if it works. We go down here, we face right. We copy this, move it here. And this will go back to the old ruins entry. World building also could be Mr. Bones' pet mimic. It got loose, and if brought back to Mr. Bones, you get a useful tool and weapon. I already have an idea for something you find and bring to Mr. Bones. Quill, I have an idea for a little trolling. I have a wall in the dungeon that is interactable, and after interacting with it a bunch of times, you can pull out one bottle cap from it. Okay, I actually like that idea. I do. Okay, so when the player steps here, this is below player's event touch. When you step on hit, you hear a click noise. So that should be button, probably. I think open is going to be the best command for this. Okay. So it activates the sound of a switch, and then it turns on the Undercity Trap 1 switch. And then while that switch is on, it cannot reactivate. So I should have just made a resettable spike ball trap. Let's give it a try. Okay, you know what? We need people to actually be able to hear what's going on. Okay. Whoa. Okay, I don't know what happened, but also I'm walking through walls. Ah, damn it. It's because those are walkable. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, crap. Okay. Don't panic. I can fix this easily enough. We basically go like that. And then in the actual ruins, we'll just make a copy of the tile set where the spike traps are unpassable. Okay. So this is going to be Dungeon Alt number 6, or whatever the hell it is. So, Ruins level, we just change this to Dungeon Alt 6. And then we're going to have to take out all the places where the scuff bleeds into the wall. Okay, let's continue. Gotcha demo's releasing today, right? No, it is not. It is not ready for that. Right, except that there's cracks on the floor. Okay. Let's try again. I had to do way too much troubleshooting to get all the features ready. Don't worry, Cole. You'll have the opportunity to waste your life. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. That's really, really close to working. Route. We do not skip if you can't move. We change the player one to not wait for completion. We might have a resettable trap now. Whoops, wrong button. Okay. So, I see a bug. Oh. Crap. Okay. Oh god. Am I going to have to build this like I did the Spire Flight minigame? Oh no, I think the only way to do this might be with the Spire Flight minigame. Okay, so there's the problem. It's getting stuck here. Okay, if I set this to through, am I still able to interact with it? Okay. It did not reset. Undercity Trap is still on. So we are getting closer. Okay. This turns off the Undercity Trap. Let's make that the very last thing that the event does. It only resets if you run into it. That's the problem. Okay. So we have the switch off command take place inside of the event movement itself. And that should now reset it. Okay, so the only thing I'm testing this time is if it actually resets. Okay. Okay, it reset, but then it's invisible. Right, again, because it's the exact same problem. Wait, none of that crap should be there. That's like an improper copy paste. Okay. So we set the event location transparent on through on. Through on. It's not resetting the event location though, unless it gets hit. Okay, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay, a separate event that does nothing when Undercity Trap is on, but when nothing is on, sets the event location of the trap back here. Does that work? Or is this just going to cause an infinite recursive loop of auto-playing events and not work at all? We're going to call this Trap 1. Okay, Trap 1. So that doesn't need to be there. The only things I need here are the impact events. Okay, one sec. Let's see if this resets. No, it just creates an infinite loop and freezes the game. Okay. So this travels all the way over here. And then when it gets here, it needs to reset its location to here. Is there any way to manually... Aubrey, once again, you are exclusively focused on the concept of pets. Softlock baby. If someone managed to do a hitless run, it would be wild. I don't see a way to do this. Unless we just have it manually reset. Does manual reset work? I mean, manual reset will work. Transparent on, through on. Then we set the switch off. We end this with a turn right. So before it turns left, we need to increase its speed as fast as possible. And after the switch is off, turn it back to regular speed. There's a couple potential problems I can foresee with this. It might still hit you on the way back even when it's invisible. Okay, it still hits you when it's invisible. Okay, so that doesn't work. Okay. So here is what we are going to do. We are going to copy this entire thing of events. We're going to set another event for Undercity Trap 1 Reset. When Undercity Trap 1 Reset is on, It moves at maximum speed with the highest variety. It's below the characters, and it has no functions even if it's activated. It also has through on. So it doesn't do any of that. All it does is move left. And then it turns off the Undercity Trap 1. Okay. So this one just needs to move right. It doesn't need to turn transparent or through. It doesn't need to adjust its speed. All it needs to do is turn off the trap. Does this function? Right. We need it to actually turn on the switch in order to reset. So its last action will be to turn on the switch for Undercity Trap reset. This one is fine. Alright. I think I got it. If this works, then we can focus on the impact. Okay. No, it got stuck. Why did it get stuck? Okay, it goes all the way over there. It turns off its initial trap. And then it turns on the reset trap. So then when the reset trap is off, it has a custom movement route where it should be returning from its original spot. We don't want to repeat the movements. Okay, let's actually just give this a visual so I can see if it's even changing like it's supposed to. Okay. So it's not activating this. Is it because it's deactivating its own functions before it's resetting? Huh. Well, I think I may have made a completely different type of trap. Hey, how does everyone feel about just having this be a rolling trap instead of a triggered one? Just one that's constantly moving back and forth. Because I appear to have accidentally made that. Okay, I'm actually going to make a copy of this, because that's a cool trap that I can use later. But I think I know what's going on. So, Undercity Trap 1 reset was turned off. But for some reason, 201... For some reason, this switch is not turning off. Neither of these switches are turning off. Why? Why are neither of the switches turning off? It's supposed to turn off the Undercity Trap reset. And at that point, Undercity Trap 1 should also be turned off. Okay, it's turning on the switch before it's turning off. I don't understand where the fault is. Okay, that time it didn't even move. Why didn't it move at all? I don't understand. What's going on here? Okay. Undercity Trap 1 is off. With Undercity Trap 1 off, it should already be moving. Why is it not moving? Is there some weird interaction I'm not understanding? No. Okay, I think it's just not working because I copy-pasted a version of it. Okay. Switch off 201. Okay, it's just not moving anymore. Why is it not moving anymore? How did I break it? This is Undercity Trap 1. This is Undercity Trap Reset. It's just supposed to move right. I truly don't understand where the problem is. Okay. If the problem is the switch order, I don't know how to fix that. Okay. So I think what's happening is that it's deactivating itself before it can actually activate the other mode. Okay, that is exactly what's happening. So, what we do is we remove the self-deactivation and we put it here. This might have fixed it. Okay, okay, okay. We're very close. It seems like it still has a through on, though. It's not triggering again. Why is it not triggering again? Okay. Okay, it works. Okay, we have a resetting trap ball. So now we make the reset invisible. And now we start adjusting this. So one step backward. So it pushes you out of the way, but the problem okay, instead of pushing the player at all, I think the best way to fix that is to just have the player turn through on and then wait like 10 frames. That should let the event go through them without any further interaction. Okay. Okay. So instead of adjusting the player, we're going to adjust this event to turn through on. So it can only impact once per cycle. And then at the end of its cycle, it will turn through off. That should be a working resetting ball trap. Okay, that works. So the other problem is that with player followers on, the player followers can block them. So we're going to add an event here. Where Elena's going to say, stay close together This place is probably full of traps. Okay. And then we gather followers and then change player followers to off. Okay. And then when we step here, it'll simply change player followers to on and then gather. So this should toggle player followers and allow the traps to be a lot more reliable as we keep building them. Stay close together. This place is probably full of traps. Okay. Oh. Okay, okay. Alright. Stay close together. So we're going to have a fade out and then a fade in. And then trigger the self switch. And then the self switch page is the same but without the dialogue. So let's give it a try. Stay close together. The place is probably full of traps. Okay. Alright, and we've got one more scuff mark over here that we need to get rid of. Okay, okay, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. But now, we're going to make this a little bit trickier by copying something from Act 1. Specifically, we are grabbing spikes. So the spike trap is going to look like this. Okay. So it flashes the screen, plays a sound effect, hurts the entire party by 100. The player moves a step backward. We gather followers. And we turn... Okay, we turn self-switch A on in order to start it. Self-switch A... does the actual event. It ends with turning self-switch A off. Okay. So when self-switch A is active, we need to face left, right, down. Okay. So this event, turn left 3 frames, turn right 3 frames, turn up. We don't wait for completion. We play all of this. We make the player step backward. We gather followers. And then we turn the self switch off. Okay. I might have a working spike trap. Ooh. Oh, right. This is supposed to be auto run. Okay. Okay, that functions. So in the last command, in order to reset the visual, we just have to have it turned down. That's it. That is a working spike trap. So we combine the spike traps with the ball here in order to limit the player's ability to avoid the trap. So we put a couple around here. And we just spread them around like this. And we put a few up here. And every spike trap, the way I've built them, they should all function perfectly. Place is probably full of traps. Good. Works. 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 God damn it. I knew it was there and I got hit by the rock. Okay, so don't put any of these in the way of the boulder. Just spread these all around like that. Okay. Okay, that's fine. And we're going to put a second trigger for that same trap over here. And we have our first trapped corridor of the dungeon. Oh, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Okay. Alright, everybody, what do you think of this creation? It's beautiful, isn't it? So to avoid it, you have to move in the right direction. Otherwise, you're just going to get hurt! Whoa! Damn. Is it actually resetting the boulder visually? Yes, it is. Okay. Whoa. So this is going to be our first treasure location. Which you have to grab before the boulder resets. Actually, let's swap the direction of these. And have it so that there's actually a safe spot where you can grab it from. So that'll be the first treasure location here. I love that. I think that's perfect. And now we can easily include a second boulder trap. Alright, so this is going to be Undercity Trap 2. This is going to be Undercity Trap 2 Reset. This event through yes. Switch on Undercity Trap 2 Reset. One sec here. Okay, sorry about that. So we are now activating the second trap. So that's trap 2, and we'll make a copy of that trap for here. And then we will make a copy of our spike traps. Just place a few of them around. None of them are in the way. We'll have another treasure here. Alright, so I'm just going to test these traps. And then that's going to be it for the day's stream, since I do have other things I'm going to have to do today. And I do really want to get that Gotcha Project demo up and running. So first, to avoid this trap, we have to be out of the way. And then we have to be careful in order to reach our way up here. So it's definitely avoidable, but it's going to be easy to be hit by it. And if you're on mobile, that's going to be a real pain to navigate around. I didn't think about that. Okay. The trap worked. Oh. Okay, we've got resetting traps. The first part of the ruins has been finished. Let's go ahead and call this height 38. We really don't need it to be any bigger. I think that this helps set the theme for what we're going to be doing. We'll put our first 2 treasure chests in here. I'll decorate it a little bit more. I'll keep working on ruins. There's going to be traps and stuff as we go along. But I think that's all I've got time to do today. So go ahead and like and subscribe if you are interested in the project. We've got a link to the Discord down in the description. We can talk about this or just about anything else there in the channel. Next stream for this will be same time next week. On Saturday morning next week, I will be getting Donkey Kong Country 64. The current daily series is Hydra, which is going to be followed by Super Hydra, and then God Help Us All Virtual Hydra. Also coming in the works are Muddy Heights 2, Toss the Turtle, and something else that I have already completely forgotten about. So, thank you all so much for being here this morning. As always, I really appreciate your support. I hope that you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next one, and it is time to make the sound to summon the end of the stream. Wow, 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 wow.